Do it. Tonight's coverage presented by Asphalt Racing Network. Of course, on behalf of Decals, Peyton Photoshops, another sponsor of the series, and of course, Young-Headed Collectibles for all your collectible needs on Whatnot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for another week here. The last league to run on the Asphalt Racing Network before a happy Easter. Of course, as always, thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. We are back at Dover for another week of adrenaline-filled action. Of course, qualifying set at this point in time. Is Trading Paints working? Trading Paints is working. Hallelujah. That never happens on the first go. Awesome. All right, looking at some times here tonight. Psych. We don't show times. You see times at the grid. Right now, you see Corey Rainey on the field. Mark Randall as well, still on field or parked in the abyss somewhere, now off the track. Perfect time to switch over to him. Josh Ryder in the 32 here tonight. Josh Thornton as well. Fuck it. Ray Pinola on the field here tonight. We were catching everybody at the end of their times. Kevin Nolf as well. Mark Morton, Norris, Pena, Jack, Wright, Nitty Jr., and a whole bunch of other names you guys have been watching on a weekly basis have returned here tonight to take on Dover. We saw Dover be ran last night, and I felt like it was a little bit tricky. I believe we had 7 cautions by the end of the night. Not a bad number. Christopher DeWald had 137 laps led here just 24 hours ago, but unfortunately didn't get the win. For your recap of the ARCA series, Jesse Singleton took away the first win of the season and boosted himself in points. Tristan Pena did finish in the top 3 as well, though. He is here again tonight. He's trying to get that win here tonight if it all goes his way. Of course, Pena has to have a good qualifying time for that to happen. Now the checkered flag, or white flag for qualifying, is done. We are moving on to warm-ups. So before we get to that 25 laps of ad-free, we're going to hit one commercial break, and we'll be back with more action here in pre-race with 4 minutes left on the clock before the Right Time Truck Series takes on Dover.
Taste your banana pudding, you taste my banana pudding.
It's on. It's on.
I was going to say, will you marry me?
Is my makeup messy? Yes, it's messy.
Consumer Cellular can help people save on their cell phone bills. That's why I cut my car in half. This year, let's cut even more things to show people how much they can save. Let's cut the face off of our helmets. Let's cut the top off of our steering wheel. Let's even cut our hats.
Isn't that just a visor?
Shut up, Chris. Great. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Get your second month free with Consumer Cellular.
Of course, just 50 seconds left on qualifying now. It's going to be a long race here tonight. A long race indeed. First stage is going to be 40 laps. Second stage, 55. So already a 15 lap difference on the night. "32 seconds left and we hit the grid." Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time. Share the broadcast. Get your friends and family huddled around the TV or the phone. If you're watching on a TV, stream that to that. If you're watching on a phone, stream that to your, well, aircast it, I guess you can call it, to your TV. If it's on a laptop, get it up, turn it up, and get ready to watch some good racing action here for about the next 2 hours. Checkered flag out now. Looking at the grid, drivers on field already. And the live timing wants to bug out. Yeah. Mark Morton with your pole here tonight. DJ Norris in second. Tristan Pena in third place, with Steven Jack in fourth. Aaron Wright claims the top five, rounding out the top five. Mike Nitti Jr. sitting in sixth place, with Matthew Francis in seventh. Damon Dean in eighth. Josh Ryder in ninth, with Brian Sandrith finishing and rounding out your top 10, shall I say. Then, of course, just outside of the top 10 is going to be the 11 of Corey Rainey and Garrett Crawford, or the 4 of Corey Rainey in 11th and Garrett Crawford in 12th. David Callahan in 13th. Mark Randall Jr. in 14th. Jesse Singleton and Jared Smith 15th, 16th. Gentry and Moore 17th and 18th. Nathan McKee in 19th place. Of course, in 20th, rounding out your top 20 is going to be Ray Pinola. A little bit of a stack up there. Joshua Thornton in 21st. Taylor Miner in 22nd. Brianna Lauren Claims 23rd with Jim Felix in 24th on the outside. Kevin Alphin 25th. Landers in 26th. Jeffrey Bourne in 27th. Curran in 28th position. Matt Banky in 29th. John Wyatt in 30th. And James Mandarude rounding out your entire field at the 31st position. We are ready. Shout out to the man who made these cameras. Beautiful camera pack. Can't tell you where I got them from. That's a trade secret. Of course, pace lights are off, which means the Veterans United restart zone. We will be going green in. Drivers tugging their belts, making sure all of their gauges and meters are reading off perfectly, and are ready to go green here in just a few moments once that pace car gets off the track. Of course, Mark Morton back-to-back weeks on the pole position. Man has the dominance to get the championship this season. Will he hold it together halfway through this season? We almost are at, but 2 more weeks. We hit the halfway point. Caution extended there, ready to go. Anticipation building, waiting for the green flag. Of course, caution was extended to hand out the EOL starting this week from last week. Will we see another dominant night here like we saw last night with Christopher DeWald? Just with the 99 of Morton. Few seconds away. DJ Norris and Mark Morton in line 1. Morton is your pole sitter. Aaron Wright in 3rd. Jack in 4th. Matthew Francis in 5th. And Nitty Jr., the man that's got a lot of speed, in 6th. Pace car off, this time by. Green flag officially out now. Mark Morton trying to control the field early on. Already had a good jump on that restart. Now miles away from the third and fourth place sitter, almost a second away so far. DJ Norris not too far behind. That's exactly what happens when you get a good jump there. Not much you have to worry about. You have all of the track to use. Get in your rhythm, get comfortable, get situated. A lot of single file action going on for the top 15. See a little bit of fight in the rear of the field already. That is as expected. Of course, Randy's Custom Automotive. 185 now underway. 3 laps in already out of 185 for the entirety of the race. Morgan, your pole sitter, still holding the lead now strong, but about 0.3 of a second. Not much of a difference so far, but of course can really work that number up the later into the run it gets, as long as he is managing his tires and he's not burning them out too bad. Now, of course, looking back at DJ Norris and Aaron Ryan. Stevie Jack not too far off pace from the cars behind him. These two fighting it out for the second place position. DJ gonna hold that top side strong. And of course, a day race, you're not really gonna see that high line being used. You're gonna see a lot of diamonding into the corners. Jack made contact with the wall, slowed his pace down a little bit now. 1.3 back from the bumper of Morton, your current leader. Lap 6, Morton's led all 6. And now the gap between first and second is 6 and almost a quarter tenths of a second. Now, of course, behind DJ Norris, like we said, is Steven Jack. Corey Rainey and Jesse Singleton, last night's winner. Now back on the track again. You heard Jesse, he's hoping that it's kind of the same outcome of the race here for him tonight, especially the way the driving has been in the trucks the last few weeks. It has been near immaculate. Of course, 1 week was a little bit worse for wear, but these races have been to a near perfection. So now the question is, will Singleton, in that 51 on your screen right now, be able to get the win again here tonight? Or will it be a fleeting point? Of course, Singleton really didn't lead many laps, but he was in a really good position when it mattered the most. Came out in the lead on top with only 3 laps to go and was able to solidify himself a win. So could we potentially see the same thing from him tonight? Of course, Mike Nitti Jr., the 64, another driver, very confident, very dominant, is very methodical. He doesn't really do anything without reason. He knows what he expects. He knows what he wants. He goes out and gets it when it means the most at the right time, as long as he's in the right place. Looking at the ink margin right now of Mike Nitti Jr. He's about 2.3 seconds back from Mark Morgan right now. And that's not much time for him. Looking back up to the front right, and Norris have actually caught some time to Morgan himself, now about 0.25 of a second back. Morgan, of course, has nobody in front of him. It's clean air. These two fighting it out for the position, of course, all 3 in screen now, following the car in-car cam of DJ Norris there. Of course, looking at the 82, getting past up there by the 78 right. Now right in the lead as Mark Morton and DJ Norris both lose some positions. Aaron is known to be a slingshot out of the gate. Can that negatively impact his race here tonight? Of course, the stronger you drive, the harder you drive, the more tire wear you're going to put on your car. So is that a situation we're going to see? Will Aaron lose a lot more grip than some of the drivers on field due to him running it a little bit more aggressive within his corners? That is the biggest question right now. Of course, right out in the lead, not much time. DJ Norris is only 0.1 tenth of a second back off of his coattails right now, so it's really not too crazy. Of course, 50% fuel, only 4 sets of tires. So tires, no, excuse me, 75% fuel. It was 75% fuel with the 4 sets of tires. Of course, no fast repairs here. That's going to be the challenging part. You saw it a lot last night. They got into some wrecks. They were able to go in, get some damage off, come back out, really when it mattered most. If they had low damage, they really didn't need to use that fast repair, but now the way the wrecks have been last night, if we do see one come out, we know it's going to be a blockade on the middle of the track, depending on where it's at. So that is a big thing you kind of have to look out for here tonight. When there is a wreck, when there will be a wreck, it'll most likely be multiple cars involved, including the ones all the way in the back trying to slam on brakes to stop it. Now looking back out of the top 3 right now, Jesse Singleton in 7th place. David Callahan already up 7 positions. In 6th in the 24. Corey Rainey still holding on to 5th strong. He's up 6 positions from where he started here tonight. We'll throw the game on the screen so you can see everybody's movements up and down so far. In 8th place is the 19th of Damon Dean. He is still even on where he qualified. He's not gained nor lost. And just behind him in 9th, the 9 of Brian Sandrith, already up 1 position, holding strong to the bottom there. You hear a little bit of the coasting in the car. Driver knows what he needs to be doing here on the track and could possibly see him in a good finishing position tonight. And of course, rounding out your top 10 now is the 77, who we have watched practically fall off pace the last few laps. Pretty strong here. He is in 10th. Just outside of him, Tristan Pena, dominant driver across all series and all leagues that he runs. He is pretty consistent at finishing within a top 5 to top 10 spot right now, just outside of the top 10. But of course, only lap 23, so still a lot of time for him to make it back. So positions, he is down 7 now as he passes Steven Jack there and get into the top 10. He is down 7 positions from where he qualified. So started in the top 3, in the back of the pack right, well, mid-pack right now. Still a lot left to go before stage 3 now, so really not worried about that. We'll keep an eye on him, see how it goes for him tonight. Of course, behind him, just the screens, 69 of Garrett Crawford. Then following back to the 88 of Joshua Thornton. Steven Jack now losing another 2 positions, moving down to 12th. And of course, back up to the front, DJ Norris able to get the lead by a long shot. About a second and a half now. Second and a quarter, actually, on the 78 of Wright. Mike Nitti now in third. Mark Morton down to fourth, but he is linked up with his teammate of David Callahan, not too far behind. $15 to go. Stage one. Seems like we're going to go caution free here for the stage. Now, of course, looking at the blimp cam here. No, I love to do this. See if we can get our camera operator to back up that view for you guys. That's inwards. Looking at the track, those are the leaders right there passing the line. You see how spread out drivers are on track here. Even where most of the cars are, there are huge gaps in between. So still a lot left to go. These five seem to possibly be the only ones fighting for the top five spot here to finish out stage one. Of course, 12 laps now. Anything is still possible. Anything can happen. You can't call it quits yet. Now Nitti behind Norris. 2.5, 2.25 seconds back. Not much time really differentiated. Mike seems to be falling off pace right now a little bit. Could be trying to manage these tires to finish the rest of the stage here. He's not losing much time, gained a little bit back there. Of course, DJ still out 2 seconds plus in the lead right now. Morton back about 3 seconds from our leader. Callahan only 0.5 tenths of a second back right there on your screen. So teammates looking to be sitting in third and fourth. You got Aaron Wright in fifth right now. And Corey Rainey just outside the top five in sixth. Damon Dean with a little bit of pressure to the rear of the Ford car there. Ford did not fold. Dean going on to the inside and make the pass. Did it cleanly. It's a tough area for a lot of people to make a pass on. Dean showing a lot of skill there and control over that truck. To be able to hold that bottom side and not make contact with the four. Now Dean in sixth. Norris still holding on to that top spot right now. You got to wonder with 8 to go, is he going to be touchable? Mike Nitti not too far back. Same with David Callahan and Mark Morton. There goes Aaron Wright, Damon Dean, Corey Rainey. Now only 5 more laps to go. DJ holding up pretty strong right now. Norris really shouldn't have a singular worry for the rest of this stage. Mike Nitti still 2 seconds back. Three to go. Norris passing lap traffic now on the track. Not worried at all. One more lap to go. Seems to be solidified now for the 82. Still, Nitti able to pull it down to about a 1.4 second differential, but still not good enough there as this time crossed the line. Stage one is going to finish, and DJ Norris is your stage one winner. Still a lot of racing left to go. Stage one done now. On to stage two. And as these drivers go to pits, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. For all of our Twitch Premium subscribers, we will go to picture-in-picture. And remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have one free sub a month. You are able to use that to get non-stop racing action. We will be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
in victory lane.
The after-jets are don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be. Next lap is going to hit. Does he have enough? Let's go! A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go!
You got to earn this thing.
It is all on the table. Daytona 500.
We are back here. DJ Norris with stage 1. Drivers ready to go green for stage 2 as the pace car comes off here at the Randy's Custom Automotive 185. And of course, in the Veterans United Craft Brewery restart zone, we go back green on the 82. Of course, 55 laps here for stage 2. Already into a fight between Nitty and Norris. Nitty going to go back to second place and hold on just for a little bit there. Norris already getting a great gap on the restart. Now trying to walk away with it. And the first caution out. Stage 2. About 3 laps in it took for the first caution to come out. Biggest question is, who was that caution on? Seemed like Laird Landers entered pit lane. Was there something wrong with his car on a restart? We'll just back it up and see. Maybe it wasn't regained with the field. No, he looks fine. In his own world by himself. But looks to be fine. A little bit of sideways contact there from the 19. Of the 51 of Jesse Singleton involved there. Now DJ Norris still going to be in the lead. Pena up to second now. Nitty in third. Callahan in fourth. And Thornton rounding out your top 5. Now, of course, DJ Norris will take us back to green, this time in the Veterans United restart zone. Pace car in. DJ Norris on the bottom side with the green flag now. We're back racing at the Randy's Custom Automotive 185 here at Dover. Pena able to get the lead early on. Definitely going to help his situation out there, as now he's finally holding the lead just for a little bit though. Norris not too far back, 0.3 of a second back. Nitty in third, about 0.7 from the leader. So there's still a pretty close gap right now. You really can't call it safe. Now, of course, looking at Nathan McGee right now, he's in 14th. Mark Randall not too far behind. And also Mark Morton. So we have Mark Squared fighting with each other side by side right now. Morton was your pole sitter, trying to get back to that pole position. A little bit of network errors earlier on. Some cars got some damage, including Morton. Now Morton trying to pull his way back up to the front where he feels like he belongs. Just in the top 10 in 9th place right now. Corey Rainey just behind, rounding out your top 10. Rainey getting a huge run there off the draft, dives to the inside line, trying to make a good run for position. Not able to get him that time. He's going to have to try to dial it back in and go for another pass again. Now looking back up to the lead, Tristan Pena in first. A little bit of development now as the 51 of Singleton finds himself in second. Norris in a close third place position with Crawford in fourth, and Thornton rounding out the top 5, excuse me. Now Tristan Pena holding the lead strong right now. A little bit of a fight, though, behind Singleton, not wanting to go anywhere, not wanting to let up. What got the win last night, trying to do it again for himself here tonight as well. DJ Norris in third, Garrett Crawford in fourth, with Thornton still in fifth. Mike Nitty actually outside of the top 5 right now, sitting in fourth. You've got to wonder if that's a strategy or if he's just kind of falling off pace here. Now lap 66 out of 185 for the race. 26 out of 55 for the stage. Nitty has caught up to the 88 of Thornton. Should be looking for a pass here the next few laps. Garrett Crawford just in front with time behind and front to both packs of cars right now, so having to really dial it in to move up forward. You don't want to drop back to gain forward momentum. Of course, he'd lose a lot of time doing that, but have to regain all of it back with trying not to get past. But it seems like those 2 cars behind are going to catch him before he catches that front pack himself, with Jesse Singleton in third now, DJ Norris in second, and Tristan Pena leading the field. I mean, so far, so good for Pena. He has led 18 laps this stage. DJ Norris leading 30 laps of the race so far. Singleton leading 15. Well, excuse me, started in 15th. He has not led a lap yet. DJ Norris, of course, being the most laps led by a driver so far here tonight. And, of course, sitting in 4th place, Garrett Crawford. He started in 12th. He's up to 4th. Still hasn't touched the lead. Mike Nitty Jr. rounding out your top 5. Started 6th. Is in 5th. But still searching for that lead position. Another caution out in the back of the field. There it is. Laird Landers and Brian Sanders. We're going to back it up. We were waiting for the camera to catch it. Laird Landers with a hot drive in. Slid up the track. Took out the 9. 9 of Sandrith. Minimized damage there. And when I say minimized, I mean minimized. Comes back down the track and almost took out. Got taken out by 2 other cars. Of course, really good job to A, avoid the wall, B, avoid the contact from the other drivers. Now, of course, looking here. Pena still in the lead. Norris in second. Singleton in third. Crawford in fourth, with Nitty rounding out your top five now. Of course, right now, single file. Now, of course, Pena and Norris starting in line one. Pena on the bottom side, Norris on the top side in that lime green machine. Still pretty early for anybody in chat that wants to call out their possible pick or their pick for a possible win here tonight. We are still in stage two, so now would be the time to do it. Of course, if you've been hanging out and you ain't dropped your chat, just say hello. Put an emoji in there. Do something. Make your views count. Because remember, guys, lurkers, for some reason, don't count as an active viewer. Now, we are off to green once again on Tristan Pena in the restart zone. Green flag out. 82 and Norris in the wall. I was expecting a really big wreck there. Nothing happened. Everybody really kind of cleaned it up behind. So no caution out that time. Norris able to recover, but now already down to 6, so he's lost a lot of spots because of that. Pena now in first. Singleton in second. Mike Nitty Jr. in third. And Corey Rainey in fourth place now, with Crawford just behind, rounding out fifth. Now Rainey in fourth place, Tristan in first. Right now the fight's between Singleton and Nitty. Now Tristan Pena still holding on. And as we call it out, another caution that time. Seems to have a big one in the back of the field. Not a good situation there. 21. Mark Randall accidentally got into the back of the 18 of Jared Smith there. Seems like Smith started slowing down on the high side. Made contact with the wall. Got stuck in the wall. Unfortunately got taken out. And then there goes the blocker in the middle of the field. Aaron Wright, Jared Smith, Francis, Jack, Curran, and Laurent all involved in that wreck. Back green now, and the Veterans United Craft Brewery restart zone. Lap 84 of 185 now. Tristan Pena still in the lead, holding on strong as much as he possibly can. Randy's Custom Automotive 185. But 85 laps in, 100 more laps to go. 11 to go in the stage. Biggest question is who's going to take stage 2 here tonight. Obviously, the way it's looking, it's not going to be DJ. As Mark Morton finally gets his way back up to the top. David Callahan in second now. And Tristan all the way down to third. With 10 laps to go, Morton wants the stage for himself. Like I was saying, it doesn't seem like it's going to be DJ Norris as he is back in 7th place now. So it seems like Morton actually going to go ahead and sneak away, or possibly, because we still have 9 laps to go, possibly sneak away a stage 2 win here for himself. Eight more laps to go. Callahan a little bit off from his teammate. About 0.7 of a second off now, just sitting at almost that second mark back with 7 to go. Seems to be the same situation we saw for the end of stage 1, where DJ Norris was uncontested and was able to get the win. Mark dialed in now. You see him running that middle line, kind of going low on his exits. Now 5 laps to go. Callahan sitting in 2nd place. Looking to some other drivers in the rest of the field. 68 right now in a mid-pack. Now 3 more laps to go. Callahan not too far back. Singleton a ways away. With 2 to go now. If everything goes the way for the 99, he will have stage 2. And at the last second, caution out, Taylor Minor and Sandrith again in a caution. Sandrith actually smoking, might be the end of the night here for him. Nose first into the wall. That is definitely a blown engine. Right before the caution started. Looked like a little net code contact, actually. They didn't look like they didn't touch at all. Now Singleton in the lead. That caution, of course, going to finish stage 2, excuse me. Now Singleton and Nitty in the lead, taking us back to restart now as the pace car's off. And the Veterans United Craft Brewery restart zone. We go green. Stage 3 now started. 89 laps left, 98 done in the race at this point in time. Singleton really strong now, all the way up in the front. He's now done the same thing the other leaders have done early on in the stage. Let's put a gap on the rest of the field. Now Singleton trying to do something he didn't have an opportunity to do last night, and that's lead the race under green flag for more than 3 laps. But David Callahan and Tristan Pena are not too far behind. So Singleton really going to have to mind his P's and Q's here. Not really try to mirror drive. You want to pay attention to either your black box in the car or your mirror at some point in time, just to at least gauge where the drivers are at. But of course, don't want to get too trigger happy with it. And that kind of hurts you and pull you off balance. Having to find that middle ground, the medium in between both. Of course, it's something we ain't done yet. As a crank it up session, we're going to save that for the next restart. Now Pena catching up to Singleton there. Singleton just in front of him on your screen. He's losing a lot of time. You got to wonder if those tires are already falling off. What his situation may be. The cockpit of that truck, that now he is already falling off pace really hard to where second and third place are now at his door. Pena trying to make the run on the inside, get around with ease. Now Singleton going to fall possibly to third as Callahan looks to be going on the inside, trying to make another run right now. They are side by side, but who will come out victorious? Still too close to call right now. Callahan gets the pass on the low line and comes out P2. Singleton still has a lot of racing left to go. No need to start fretting now. It's still a lot of time before he really needs to start thinking about the last minute opportunities. Looking at top 5 right now, Garrett Crawford. Mark Reynolds Jr. in 16th right now. Corey Rainey in pits this time. Ray Pinola in pits as well. Bourne in pits. Course, looking back up to your leader right now, Tristan Pena, holding on to it at lap 114. Sooner or later, we might start seeing some lap traffic on the field in front of our leader. The way these guys are driving, cautions have not been bountiful. Of course, a lot of those lap down cars left cautions coming out because it's an opportunity for them to restack on the field, get some more damage off, get their lap back and rejoin lead lap, or maybe one of 2 to 3, whatever it may be. Off right now, really can't do much but hope and pray. As a lot of the talent here on the field is doing really good solely and working together, possibly with manufacturer, separate, their own team only specifically. But we're seeing a lot of reason and maneuverability be used here tonight. Of course, Pena's still holding on strong. Callahan with a little bit of lap traffic around him now. Now, of course, Callahan trying to move up the ladder. Lap 120 out of 85 now. Callahan, let's actually see the statistics. Callahan still has not touched the lead at all tonight. He hasn't even led a singular lap. Pena has only ran 47 laps in the lead. DJ Norris sitting in third. He's led at 30 himself. Now Mark Moore. He's led 24 laps himself. Of course, Morton now moving up into fifth. Pena still has a really good jump on the rest of the field. I don't think anybody's going to be able to pull Pena out of that top three unless it's Callahan. He's slowly encroaching up. Of course, now Pena still in the lead, 51 laps led now. Looking through the rest of the field, not many cars on the lead a lap. Of course, Singleton now down to 7th. Where is the fight going to be coming from here on your screen is the biggest question. Caution. Now back on track, maintaining. Here, Jesse Singleton in 7th. Pena still in first with 130 laps done here on the night. As always, good racing action. It's kind of mellowed itself out now. Cars are doing more talking than we can do about the cars up here, as the entirety of the field is really spread out. Like we said, only 11 cars on lead lap. That is your entire top 11. Right now, Pena taking a good effort to get around the track. Lap 132 out of 185. Tristan currently your leader, and I don't think he's going anywhere for a while. Hang on tight, folks. We're going to hit a commercial. Yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes.
So much later, Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
You got a great car, great team. Let's go execute. Our time. We know what we got to do. Stay in the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
We'll fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The after-catcher will count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out.
Wheel to wheels, they come to the line.
What victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough?
We are back now from a quick commercial break. Now looking at the lead. Nathan McGee in pit road. Kevin Dolph pit cycles had happened during a commercial break. We have Kevin Dolph and Mike Nitti Jr. Now 1 and 2. Tristan Pena fall back to third. DJ Norris in fourth. Callahan in fifth. And Morton in sixth place. A lot of shakeups have happened here. 145 and a 185. About 40 laps left to go. Now, of course, Knopf coming in this time. Tristan going to cycle back to your lead. Pena doing a really good job of racing the line, the preferred line today, of course. He's led so much of 70 laps. DJ Norris had only led 30. Pena really lining up in stage 2 and 3. Now really looking to solidify it and take it home. But Mark Morton in the top 5. He's about 7.2 seconds back from the bumper of Pena, now about down to 7 seconds flat. Of course, a caution would stack them back up in a position, which would give Morton a good advantage to start a run there. Back for the lead, but as of right now, still left to happen. Mark has actively led 24 laps of this race for himself. He is trying his damnedest to make it work. Of course, what we're seeing here tonight, a lot of diamonding into the corners. Tristan being the most familiar about it. You saw what he said earlier. Last night, he said he feels comfortable, he feels confident about what he possibly can do here. Of course, the way it normally is right time at the right place. No pun intended. But Tristan actually trying to solidify it early on here. Now looking at DJ Norris. Norris only 2 seconds back from Pena. Pena starting to wear those tires off more than what he expected. He's got to go a little bit earlier than what he would have. Of course, right now, one lap 155 out of 185. DJ Norris in second now, still about 2 1/4 back from the rear bumper of the 50, being Tristan Pena. Tristan really having a solid night right now. Of course, we're going to let the cameras roll through all drivers, let everybody get some screen time here tonight. Looking back up with 27 more laps to go. Tristan Pena still in the lead by about 2 seconds flat. Now looking at the back of the screen, you see him there. DJ Norris slowly pulling down the time. Of course, having to get around the lap traffic right now, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem. 9 times out of 10. Drivers do have the respect to give you the call out, ask preferred line, and it moves to that top side or bottom side, wherever it may be. Now, of course, could possibly look promising for DJ Norris. He might be able to catch some time back. Definitely looking for a caution right now. Though, let him be in all the time he lost back on that car. Now looking at the lead, Tristan Norris still holding it strong right now. Tristan, DJ, David, Mark, and Garrett all rounding out your top 5. Pena in the lead. Norris still a close second. He's lost a little bit of time now, down to 3.52 on the boards. With 20 laps to go, it is a tough situation for the 82 to find himself in. I mean, just looking at the night right now, it has been some immaculate racing. We've only had 5 cautions for 15 laps of basing. Of course, 167 laps here tonight. Done so far, and possibly without an overtime here tonight. looking a little shooken up here on the field tonight. Great racing. Stage 1, phenomenal. Scoring through the field right now, just paying attention to everybody, letting everybody get some screen time. Right now up there with Jared Smith, currently in 10th place. Just Singleton up to 6th right now. There's a man trying to go back to back. Same track, just different series, same week as well. Right now, Singleton still holding on to that 6th place spot. Of course, now looking back up into the lead with 13 laps to go. Tristan Pena holding on strong. Just behind him is lap traffic. He doesn't have to worry about it. 2nd place of DJ Norris is a ways away right now. Norris about 3 and almost a little bit more than 3 1/4 seconds back off pace from our leader, Pena. Now, of course, 9 more laps to go here now. Tristan holding us strong in the top 3. Currently in her lead, has been in her lead for a lot of laps led here so far. Now a grand total of 98. 2 more laps and it's 100 laps to himself. Fantastic racing here tonight from the guys. Of course, you know how it always is. If we feel like the cautions for the right time, ARCA series were as bad as the trucks, you might as well pinch yourself even having green on during St. Patrick's Day, because it doesn't make sense. Of course, the ARCA series known to be beginner friendly. Some guys that really don't run much officials since they've had an A-class, or just guys that don't run much officials at all. Of course, as long as you hit the minimum requirements, you make it in. But Truck Series, more of grit, determination, tryouts, errors. laps to go. Pena holding strong in the lead. DJ Norris in second. Norris now slowly catching back up. Four more laps to go. Now, with 3 laps to go, Pena in first. Only 5 people actively on the lead lap right now. From Singleton back all a lap down. 2 more laps to go. Pena leading 105 laps now. Could be a grand total of 107 laps on the night. As long as it goes his way. White flag out now. No more cautions this time by. It is all on Pena to lock it in and not make any sudden movements. Don't get dropped by a lap car and keep it green, and you officially have the win at Dover after a top 3 finish last night. Last corner going to the straightaway. It is by a quarter mile. 4 seconds off pace is the 82. And Tristan Pena just wins it here at Dover. Tristan Pena takes away the win here at Dover in the Truck Series. What an insane race. Of course, DJ Norris finishing in second, David Callahan in third. We're actually going to start a little bit different tonight, as one of our drivers has to get some kiddos to bed. So we are actually going to pull in Norris first, if he is still around. All right, DJ is going to be skipping his interview. So we're going to hear from David Callahan and Tristan Pena. Of course, David Callahan starting in 13th place. Found himself in third for the finish. Seems all drivers are ready to go. Those two drivers are ready to go, so we're going to pull them in. Probably in the middle of a conversation, but we're going to drop in our third place finisher. Yeah, I always do it to you in the middle of a conversation, man. But of course, bringing in our third place finisher, David Callahan. So you seemed to, between you and Mark, you guys seem to have it down pat. Stage 2, we saw you guys come back from the mid to back pack of the field. Of course, teammate taking stage 2 for himself, unable to get it again in stage 3. But of course, having a really good race for both of you guys tonight. You finished just behind each other in third and fourth. How you feeling the race went here tonight? Now, I mean, of course, you had to sit in the sky and on the grandstands last night and control the ARCA race from the air. Of course, that was a little bit worse for wear in the beginning. Cleaned itself out in the end. But here tonight, immaculate race. There was only 5 cautions, technically 2 for a stage break. So we really only had 3 wrecks here tonight. I feel like that cleaned up a lot of the pit strategies for your green flags. Of course, only having 4 sets of tires, that does make a difference. How do you feel like the racing was as clean as it was? You know, do you feel like that added the strategy changes for your green flag pit laps, or do you feel like, you know, whether it went green each stage or cautions came out, you were still going to be kind of on that same strategy? Now, looking forward to the season ahead, I mean, we are only on week 5 now. We still have a little bit to go here before we hit our halfway mark. 8 would be our halfway mark at Nashville. Darlington set to be next week for 165 laps. Do you feel confident about moving on to Darlington, or do you feel like there's a little bit of possible regret moving in after a great race here tonight? Of course, Darlington is going to be a little bit of a tighter track. Trucks normally don't handle well at Darlington as well. You know, it's normally a 2-lane track, but kind of files out to be a one line. Really can't change much up, especially on the straights. I mean, you can only change up on the straights, can't change up in the corners. So, how are you feeling moving into week 6? Now, of course, moving into this race, results have not been posted yet officially for the season standings. So, going into this race, you were in third on points. Mike Nitti separating you and your teammate. Morton holding the lead now for 5 weeks on points, I do believe. Moving forward now, how are you feeling about Morton's opportunity? To really try to solidify this championship run. I mean, it's been a dominant season for him so far here. Of course, not able to get tonight's win, but still a lot of races ahead of us for him to put himself back in victory lane. Now, of course, man, before we let you go, I always like to ask if you have any shout outs to anybody that could be watching out there. All righty. Well, of course, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. Definitely looking forward to seeing what David Callahan Racing is going to pull out of the hat for the rest of the season, and definitely look forward to seeing possibly you and your own teammate fight for a championship. Yeah, man, you have a good one. That was our third place finisher of David Callahan. Good racing so far from him, currently sitting third on the season standings until race 5 is put in. That will shake up a little bit. Of course, Mark Morton in the lead right now on the season standings, but didn't get the win here tonight. That win going to the number 50 of Tristan Pena. And the man definitely proved me wrong, as we were talking to you again tonight. Hey, what's up, man? I have audio pinging off on my side. Well, of course, now we've seen you have a dominant run so far in multiple leagues. Of course, here in Right Time and then in Naris as well. You got the first win of the season. Big momentum, big boost. You've came back for, I believe, what now, 3 wins in total across Right Time. I could be wrong. Could be 4. I know this is your second win in trucks here tonight. Now, of course, going into this race, you were 11th on points. With the win here tonight, that's going to boost you a lot, even with some missed races as well. Drivers having a few more corners than you being at 1,400 in total, the leader of Mark Morton being at 2,500. So of course there is a little bit of differences, but you are still in that contention spot. So after the win here tonight, how do you really feel like that's going to boost you not only on morale but on points as well? Now, of course, last week at IRP, you got only 31. Like you said, you don't try to pay attention to the points. I feel like you had a better finishing position here tonight, or a better points night here tonight. Of course, not all the way to the mid stage of the season. So now that we are getting closer to the middle of the season, what's really your strategy? Has it changed from the first race of the truck series, or are you moving with the same flow up until the playoffs start? Now I'm having a problem with audio again. It was not one thing, it's always another. Say something for me quick, Tristan. Yeah, I'm losing audio. Try it again. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the audio right now. We just completely dropped that audio. Yeah, blame it on Jeffrey. That's right, Tristan. Blame it on Jeffrey. And to those suggesting I turn up iRacing audio, iRacing has nothing to do with it. It's strictly through Discord. Well, there's one way to fix this. If this doesn't work, I'm very confused. Tristan, say something for me.
How you doing?
Ah, there we go. Okay, so that kind of sucks because then that means there was an entire problem with David. So I was talking to myself. So I
Let's go.
apologize to David because that means we're gonna have to talk to him before the race. Next race. But with Tristan, I'm assuming your audio, you said you heard yourself on audio, so you had audio the entire time. So then practically the last question, which was now that we're nearing the halfway mark of the season, are you going to be on your original strategy going forward, or are you going to be kind of changing up strategy to keep the momentum going? You know, you've already got 2 wins in the trucks, like we said. You know, first race of the season is a lot different from where we're at now. So, what's your intention with your strategy moving forward?
I think strategy is gonna stay the same. We're gonna keep winning races because that definitely boosts morale. It keeps the momentum going, and just it helps in general with, especially with the playoffs, because playoffs it really matters because of the winning you're in type stuff. So I think just we're gonna keep going with the same strategy. I'm gonna go try to win every single race I can. Obviously, the races I can't, I'm gonna try to finish as high as I can, get the most points possible. But if I can win and I do have the opportunity, I'm gonna go for it every single time. Cause I know if I don't, then I shouldn't be racing. Cause if I'm not going for the win, then just like there's no point. And cause I mean, winning's everything, especially in playoff racing.
You know what they say, man. If you're not first, you're last. So, I mean, good strategy to have there. Really, it's going to hopefully boost you a far while into the season, and then of course the playoffs with that mentality. Of course, not really in a rush tonight, as tomorrow's Good Friday, and you probably have nothing to do tomorrow. But of course, um, I want to ask you at least two more questions. One more being about the truck tonight, of course, or today for sim time, tonight for the real time. Um, you raced it last night. Of course, same situation, morning. You really couldn't do anything with that high side line, you know, a little bit, probably still a little bit sketchy as it was last night. Everybody really apexing that corner perfectly and exiting out where they should. How did the truck feel for you tonight?
It was a lot better than the ARCA car, at least for me. Um, I prefer a looser race car. I do not prefer car to be shoving up the hill the entire time, and just like, cause then just I'm not good at saving tires, so it definitely hurt me there. With the truck, saving tires was pretty simple. You just had to keep it on the bottom because the more you run all over the banking and up and down, it'll burn the right front up. But it was definitely a lot looser than the ARCA car was. The ARCA car was really aero dependent. The truck was still very aero dependent. If you got in clean air, it was definitely a lot better than it was in dirty air. But I feel like you're able to move around more. There were more lines to choose from. I was able to make the top side work quite a bit of times. Around the middle to later stages of the race. So, I mean, I really enjoyed that. I enjoy a multi-groove racetrack where you can kind of play around with it and do all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot better than last night. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but I mean, I thought it was a ton better than the ARCA car.
Of course, before we let you go, enjoy the rest of your night. As always, man, we know it's short, sweet, and to the point, but we're always going to ask the question because there might be something else that pops up. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Of course, my mom and dad for letting me do this, and crew chief on the top of the box, John D. White. He's giving me all the strategy calls and telling me what to do. So I mean, yeah, we're a good team tonight, and I'm thankful that he was on the box with me.
Well, look at that. Miracles do happen. Another shout out to give for once out of all of the interviews you've had. Of course, congrats on the win, man. Good way to keep momentum going, not only for Right Time, but for Naris as well. Of course, off this week, so you won't be able to keep it going this week. You'll have to hope and pray it follows you next into ARCA on Wednesday. But congratulations on your win, and definitely look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, Tyler. I really appreciate you putting this on for all of us.
Yeah, man. You have a good one.
You too.
That was your race winner, Tristan Pena. Like I said, I don't think we had audio from Callahan, so we will definitely get up with him beginning of the race next time by, just so he can get his interview out. I don't know why it put him as the winner. Tristan Pena takes the win here tonight. As always, great racing here for the Truck Series. DJ Norris finishes in second. David Callahan rounding out third. Mark Morton in fifth, and Garrett Crawford finishing. Mark Morton in fourth, Garrett Crawford finishing in fifth. Great racing from the guys. Only really 3 cautions with wrecks. 2 of them involving the same driver, which unfortunately ended his night early on. But of course, immaculate racing for 185 laps here tonight. Of course, the T. Elliott Truck Series for the Right Time at Sim League is officially concluded. And as always, all good things must come to an end. Unfortunately for us, that is now. So, of course, on behalf of everybody at Right Time and me here at Asphalt Racing Network, I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in through all the ups and downs for the drivers, all the ups and downs for the broadcast, because there's always something going awry. But you guys make our world turn. So, of course, we'd like to appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. Don't forget, we do this multiple times a week. American Stock Car Racing League on Mondays. Right Time ARCA on Mondays with the trucks on Thursdays. And the Naris Truck Series on Friday. Saturday is the Gen 6 cars. As always, we are going to leave you guys with the last 2 laps. White flag lap for Tristan Pena as he took the win. And we will catch you around next time. Happy Easter, everybody, and Good Friday. We will catch you on the next one.